And welcome back, everybody, inside the Chrysler Center here in Ann Arbor. It's the 2025 NCAA Men's Championship. Here is the format. We will be crowning tonight a team champion, an all-around champion, and individual event champions. Now, quick reminder, in men's team gymnastics, 4 athletes compete and all 4 scores count. It's a little bit different than women's collegiate gymnastics, where they have 6 athletes and they count the best 5. Here, every routine matters. If you want to see every routine tonight, by the way, you can see Illinois on floor right now, Oklahoma on pommel horse, Penn State on rings, Nebraska on vault, Michigan on parallel bars, and Stanford on the high bar. Every one of those is available on the ESPN Plus app as a stream, so you can follow your favorite team. All right. As I mentioned, there are teams and individuals that will be crowned tonight. This is Cal's Aiden Lee. His team did not qualify as a full team, but he's competing here as an individual for a title on pommel horse. And this will be one of the most exciting events we'll see tonight because the pommel horse field is world class.
Absolutely. I mean, the guys we're going to be seeing on horse tonight, like Aiden, are going to be guys that you could very well see in an Olympic or World Championships final. I mean, you can just see the way he's swinging right here. So on pommel horse, the judges are looking for that really nice open extended circle, which he is doing so well right now. It's been a great routine so far, no breaks. Fly up to the handstand on the dismount. Wow. Great start for Aiden. It's a really nice routine.
All right, now, for Ohio State, they were just edged out of the team competition. Quite disappointed that they didn't make it into this team final, but they have several athletes competing here for individual titles today, 6 of them in fact. First up is Noah Copeland. This is Jasper Smith-Gordon on vault on the right.
Wow.
Whoa!
That is one of the hardest vaults that we're going to be seeing all night right there. He did it so well. Now back to high bar here. We see doing some nice release elements. Getting ready for his dismount. Now, the name of the game on dismounts is sticking the landings. Just like that. Very nicely done.
And we're heading over to the floor. Isaiah Drake, one of the outstanding gymnasts at Navy, competing in the all-around here today. He'll do all 6 events for a hope at a title or an all-American status. That goes, of course, to the top 8 in the all-around and each individual event. Navy did not have a great meet in the team competition, and therefore they are competing 5 individuals today and not here as a full team.
See here, Isaiah's going nice side pass right there. A back double full, so that's 2 twists. Here you're going to be seeing him going into a scale. So this is actually a new requirement that has been added after this past Olympics, that all of the athletes on floor have to show a scale at any point during their routine. It just has to be done.
Requirement, they have to finish with a double flipping somersault at the end of the routine. Happy for him to make that Arabian double. And we welcome our audience joining us from the NBA game. We are here in Ann Arbor, Michigan for the 2025 Men's NCAA Gymnastics Championships. The blue bloods of the sport are on hand. Together, these teams have won a total of 60 national titles. The hosts, the Michigan Wolverines, are one of the favorites, and the big headline is that the Stanford Cardinal is going for a record-setting 6th straight NCAA team title if they could pull it off. I'm Bart Connor, joined by one of our Olympic heroes, Brody Malone. Of course, everybody remembers Brody and his bronze medal team's success in the Paris Olympics this past summer. Great to be working with you, Brody.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here.
All right, we saw Michigan in the qualifying round yesterday. They were pumped up. They looked comfortable here in front of their home crowd. There's a terrific crowd on hand. And 2 weeks ago in this very building, the same setting exactly, they competed in the Big Ten Championships to win it. They seem right at home, as they should be. And here they lead off on their title championship run with Evgeny Semeniuk on parallel bars.
Talk about the importance of this leadoff spot, especially on this first event. The leadoff guy's job is to hit a routine and stick a dismount to start off the run, get it going for the rest of the guys here. So
Michigan chose to start on the parallel bars, and in fact, this is the event where they are #1 in the country. Hopefully they will get off to a good start here. That's what the home team wants for sure. It's going to be loud in here tonight. 6 teams on the floor, the best of the best in men's gymnastics, and some of the toughest and strongest athletes in the world. What a start!
that is a really strong start for Michigan.
He stuck that landing, and in NCAA gymnastics, you get a 1/10 of a point bonus for every stick landing. If they're going to win the title today, they got to drill them just like that.
Just like that. Take another look at that dismount. You see he just opens up perfectly and just sinks into that landing. Really strong start for Michigan.
All right, now for the Stanford Cardinal, as we mentioned, going for a record 6th straight NCAA team title. Jeremy Bischoff is their leadoff competitor. Remember, they have 4 athletes competing, and every one of their 4 scores counts towards the team total. So there is very little room for error for any of these teams today.
See Jeremy connecting that skill there. That's a really hard thing to do.
One of the best events for the Nebraska Cornhuskers is the vault, and here's Luke James that's starting off their championship run.
Wow. Really nice vault. Just the dismount for Jeremy. Wow.
Another stuck landing.
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of that tonight.
Stanford means business now. This is Fuzzy Benes from the Oklahoma Sooners. They have 12 national titles. Their last was back in 2018. Interesting story about this guy. He's had so many injuries. This is the first time that he's doing a pommel horse routine competitively for the Sooners this year, and he'll be in the all-around tonight competing for a title. He's enormously talented, but he has been on the sidelines much of the year because of injuries.
Yeah, Fuzzy was actually dealing with a thumb injury all year. You can see his thumb there kind of taped up. So first time this year he's going to be up. He's doing a great routine so far.
Paul Judah, one of your Olympic teammates, on the parallel bars on the right side of your screen as we speak, as Benes hits his first time up the whole season, and he nails his routine.
Now on to Paul's P-bars. We're going to be seeing a lot from Paul tonight. He's going to be competing all 6 events, trying to get a chance to win that all-around title.
Half of your Olympic team is competing here tonight. I said at the top of the show, these are the best of the best, and we're talking the best gymnasts in the world. Paul Judah, a member of that bronze medal team, an emotional, energetic leader for the Wolverines. 2 stuck routines and 2 perfect landings in a row. Oh man, the energy in this building is like nothing.
Wow.
Axel Karsikis now for Penn State. They are enormously strong on rings and pommel horse. Josh Carnes led them off with a 13-1.
Nice swinging work up to the handstand. Lowered down into the strength position. That's called a straight planche, where you hold your body out completely straight. Almost got the stick there. You see these swinging skills. There's so much torque going on in your shoulders right there. Those are some of the most painful skills to do on rings.
I think that's why we've all had some shoulder surgeries as a result. My orthopedic surgeon said your shoulders are not meant to do that.
Absolutely not.
Here's Taylor Burkhart, one of the best all-arounders for the Stanford Cardinal, and you can usually count on him. Bischoff led them off with a 13-5.
Yeah, this routine from Taylor is really probably one of my favorite to watch of his. Got some really high-flying release moves, and in a second we're going to see a really cool move coming up here soon that we're only going to see one more time in the competition. That right there, he catches it perfectly. High bar is all about those high-flying release moves.
And the new code, they've reevaluated some of the difficulty dismounts, and a triple back is worth more than it was last quarter, and Burkhart does a nice job.
Solid routine for Stanford.
Here's Illinois on the floor, Ian Sandoval.
Ian, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Really strong on this event. He has amazing air awareness. You can see he's just kicking out and spotting that landing there.
Quick reminder, you can follow all of the routines of your favorite team on the ESPN Plus app. Open another browser and you won't miss any routine on floor, horse, rings, vault, parallel bars, or high bar. Here's Fred Richard.
Yeah, on the right, this is one of Fred's best events.
Paul Judah had a 14-2 after Siminyuk, a 14-06. Unfortunate fall on the left side of your screen for Sandoval.
Wow, you can see Fred just floating up that skill. Getting towards the end of his routine now. Now Fred is known for sticking dismounts as well, so if he sticks this, that'll be 3 in a row for Michigan.
Oh!
Small hop backwards. That's still going to score really well for them.
Fred Richard, of course, one of your Olympic teammates, a bronze medalist in Paris. He's such an electrifying competitor that he brings a lot of attention to the sport, has enormous social media following, and he deserves it. He's earned it.
Let's see, another look at the dismount. Yeah, he was really looking for that.
There's Dad. Way to go. All right, to the pommel horse now. This is one of the best pommel horse workers in the country as well. Ignacio Yockers from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Zach Nunez had a 13-8. The Sooners have 3 really solid hit routines here. Oh, no! Oh, this is their best guy.
That could be very costly for them.
Oh.
So his job right now is to get back up and finish strong. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, just shoulders got a little bit too far ahead of himself. Just got off balance there.
Oh man, that's a tough break for the Sooners. Ignacio Yockers, you see he's 6th in the country on that event. He's getting a couple of notes from Oklahoma's head coach, Mark Williams, but as we said, you count 4 routines, all scores count. So there's very little room for error here.
You see he's repeating that skill there.
Nebraska on the vault. This is Chase Mundy, and this is big. Oh, nice.
Really well done vault there. All right, he just needs to finish this routine strong, minimize as many deductions as he can. Fly up to the handstand here. Oh, a little bit of hesitation there.
Oh.
But a good finish.
Yeah, but
That's
a missed opportunity for the Sooners. Their big scoring guy unable to come through there here in the championship final, and he feels it. Logan McEwen on parallel bars for Michigan. Fred Richard had a 13.966. So they have 2 14s and a 13.966. You can see why Michigan is the #1 team in the country on the parallel bars. On the rings is Matt Underhill for Penn State.
Oh, and on the left side, that was a really hard skill. It's a swing through the bottom and a double backflip and catching on your underarms there. Really painful skill, but he made it look easy. All right, getting ready for the dismount here on the left side. Can he stick it? All right, big hop forward, but that's a solid routine for them.
Interesting story about Matt Underhill. He is having issues with his vision, double vision, so he's essentially competing on the rings with one eye and does a double twisting double back. Moments ago, for the Stanford Cardinal, Brandon Wynn on the high bar. They have already 2 hit routines.
Brandon is one of those guys that you can always count on to hit a routine. He's the team captain this year. Gearing up for a big release move here. On to Ian Lasik-Ellis on the high bar. Nice laid out Tkachev there. You're essentially on those skills just in the front. You're just throwing your body over the bar and re-catching it again.
Brandon Wynn had a 13-6 before this routine. So 3 hits for the Stanford Cardinal and another landing.
He's really happy with that one.
They stuck 6 landings at the recent Mountain Pacific Conference Championships. Penn State, they seem to be the stick masters. They stuck 11 at their Big Ten championship. Here is Alex Natachi, the final vaulter for Nebraska. Chase Mundy before him, a 14.333.
A little bit different style of vault here, called a Yurchenko.
Oh, nice. Such execution.
So well. That's going to score really well for them.
Tell you what, the Nebraska Cornhuskers were one of the great stories of the qualifying round. They started in 4th or 5th as a team after the first event, and they ended up winning their qualifying session #1, beating out even the Oklahoma Sooners. And now they're off to a good start here in the championship final. Preston Nye competing on the floor now for Illinois.
Nice double front to mount there. Oh, that's a really tricky skill right there. That was 3.5 twists. Really hard.
Illinois has 2 scores in the 13s. Garrett Schooley has a 13-0, and Nathan Whitaker led them off with a very strong 13-9. But they did have an 11-8-6-6. So they have their 4 scores in for the team competition. Preston Nye is competing in the 5th spot. He's not going to count towards the team, but because we mentioned we're also crowning individual champions, he's competing as an all-arounder. He has to compete at least 3 events for the team to be considered an individual competitor as well. So sort of 2 things at stake for him.
Should be going into his dismount here. Nice back double pike. I think Bart mentioned it earlier, but the new requirement for this code after this past Olympics is that your dismount on floor has to be a double flipping skill. So all of the dismounts that we're going to see on floor will be some variation of a double flip.
You can take a look at the bottom right of your screen. The Nebraska Cornhuskers with an outstanding vault performance. They are the leaders after the first of 6 rotations. And you can track the points behind. Michigan is in 2nd and Stanford in 3rd. A missed opportunity for the Oklahoma Sooners. And our Lauren Sisler is with their coach, Mark Williams, now.
Yeah, Coach, you guys lose that last pommel routine with the fall. How does that impact you guys the rest of the way?
Well, we still scored over a point and a half higher than yesterday, so I'm happy about that. We got a long way to go. There's a lot of routines left to do. There's 20 more sets, so we'll do what we do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, not the way the Sooners wanted to start, shooting for their 13th career national title for the program, but we're off to a flying start here. Some of the most exciting gymnastics in the world. The energy is infectious in this building, and a championship trophy is on the line. The Cornhuskers have the lead after one.
But guess what? There are two other Olympians here tonight, and they have worn that beautiful hardware around their neck, as you see there. Love that headshot of Brody. Brody Malone, one of the heroes from the most recent Olympics in Paris, where the men brought home the bronze medal. And of course, a former Stanford Cardinal. He owns 4 national championship rings, y'all. And who I like to call the OG in the sport, Bart Connor. He won 2 gold medals at the 1984 Olympics. His win on the parallel bars helped the U.S. win its first men's Olympic gold medal in 80 years. And you know what? They are part of this incredible broadcast team. Everybody, we got to give them a big shout out tonight. They are part of the broadcast team out here giving you everything you need to know about men's gymnastics, because guess what? They've been there, done that. And you know what? We're kind of on 2 sides of the spectrum here, right? Bart, Brody, you guys, you know, Bart 1984, Brody Malone just recently in Paris. So guys, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate you kind of reminding people my accolades, because for the last 20 years I've been known as the guy who's married to Nadia Comaneci. And so thank you for reminding people that I used to be a gymnast as well. And of course, Brody, it's meets like this that is really the breeding ground for why you guys ended up with the bronze medal at the Olympics.
Absolutely. It just goes to show you that the NCAA is critical in developing athletes to go on and be successful at high levels like that. Fun fact, all 5 of us that competed in Paris were former or current NCAA team members. So it's an incredible program, and we just use the NCAA to help us prepare for international experiences like that.
Yeah, it was quite one of my favorite moments of the Paris Olympics was the bronze medal competition for the U.S. men, the first time in 16 years. So happy to have you on our telecast as an analyst today, Brody, and wishing you all the best of luck as you're going to have your sights set on perhaps going all the way to LA 2028, don't you?
We'll see.
All right. Wish you the best of luck, pal.
Thank you.
A reminder, in addition to team competition, we have individuals competing for All-American as well as titles. The event leaders will guarantee this by the end of the evening. We'll have a team champion, an individual event champion on every apparatus, and an all-around champion. You can see the current leaders on those respective events after one of 6 rotations. There's a couple more Olympians there spotting for Ohio State's Christian Grachovsky. Rustam Sharipov pulling the mat. Member of the Ukrainian Olympic team, Olympic gold medalist, and standing under the bar is Casimiro Suarez from Cuba, a member of their Olympic team. So the house is full of some of the greatest gymnasts in the history of the sport. So great to see so many of them coaching and giving back. That's really what makes NCAA gymnastics so spectacular.
Really nice end bar work there. Be getting ready for his dismount here. Wow. Oh. No tap into that.
That's kind of a wild technique.
I think that scared us a little bit yesterday, Bart, didn't it?
It did. Caught me by surprise as well. This has got to be considered one of the original extreme sports of all. And for Navy, they did not have their best meet in the qualifying rounds, but they qualified a few guys through. And Brian Solomon is an all-arounder competing today, very powerful. As for Air Force on the parallel bars, Eric Upton
Nice transition down the side there on the left side of the screen. So Brian's moving into his non-acrobatic element. So on floor exercise, there's 4 element groups, and one of those has to be a non-acrobatic element, so no flipping or twisting. So typically guys will do something like you just saw him do, or a press handstand. He moves into the scale here. He's getting ready for his dismount.
And a good finish for Eric Upton on the right.
Nice double Arabian to finish there. Good routine.
One of those new requirements is you must finish your floor routine with a double twisting, double flipping somersault. Just a quick reminder how men's gymnastics is scored. It's the same as the Olympics with a few minor differences. But the score in men's gymnastics is not based on the perfect 10 as you see in women's gymnastics for the college. The scores are a combination of the execution score and difficulty. Now, execution starts at 10 and they deduct from 10 for form errors. The difficulty starts at 0 and they add together the best 8 skills to add up their difficulty. So these judges on the floor are adding on one side the difficulty and subtracting on the other side, and the combination of those 2 scores are the final score. Oh! This one won't be hard to calculate, though. That was pretty great.
That was a huge vault.
Theodore Roald Gatterud competing as an individual.
We won't see many of these vaults tonight, so this is a front handspring here.
Wow, he launches it.
Wow, it's so high into a double front. So that's actually 3 flips before his feet hit the ground again. You just see how high he goes off that table.
See the judging panel on the side there calculating the numbers as Connor Miklos takes to the pommel horse. He's also special here. I tell you, one of the reasons I'm not a judge is because I can't add and also subtract at the same time like these guys can. And they're respected to get the score out in 45 seconds after the end of the routine. It's a tough job for these guys, but they're doing a great job.
Solid routine from Connor Miklos there.
Yanni Chronopoulos on parallel bars for Nebraska. Remember, they had the lead after the first rotation. So this is their first team competitor of the 4 that will go on parallel bars. The other athletes were competing as individuals.
Now, Nebraska struggled a little bit yesterday on P-bars.
Yes, they got off to a really rough start here.
Could definitely see the nerves.
Okay!
But not today.
The momentum continues for the Cornhuskers. Now the Sooners have put themselves in a bit of a hole. In 5th after the first rotation, they go to the rings. Brigham Frentaway.
See the classic iron cross there. Skill actually got upgraded after this past Olympics, meaning that it's valued higher now to encourage athletes to put it in their routines.
Evgeny Semyonuk for Michigan takes to the high bar now. Currently 4th in the country on this event. He's their first guy up.
Very nice first skill there. All right. Big release move there. It's called a layout Tkachev.
And a nice dismount on the left for Frentaway.
Oh, and he's doing some of the most painful gymnastics that you can do on high bar. Really not fun on the shoulders. And then just sticks the dismount.
Like it's nothing to it.
Yeah.
That's what we saw in the qualifying round yesterday. Michigan looks so comfortable here at home on their own apparatus and their podium in front of their crowd. They are on fire.
Wow. Just drops into that landing. Just sticks it cold.
Think about how important a stuck landing is. You get a 1/10 of a point for sticking a landing as a bonus. But if you took a step, you might lose as much as 3. So sticking a landing is really worth about 4/10 of a point towards your score. Here's one of your Olympic teammates, Asher Hong, now for Stanford.
He does a really good floor routine. That opening pass right there is very difficult. So because he did both of those skills together, he actually got 2/10 in connection bonus. And another right there. Another 10th in connection bonus. Very difficult. The thing that Asher needs to do is stick his landings, which we just saw him do right there.
Stanford Cardinal had a bit of a slow start this year. That's pretty common, really. They have so many guys competing on the Olympic team and in the international track that they usually don't put in their top lineup until late in the season, and that's when they peak when it matters.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a strategy game. And also early in the season is typically, you know, your World Cups and a couple international competitions, and a lot of the guys on the team are on the U.S. national team. And Tom makes it a point to try to prioritize to go to some of those competitions.
Oh! A double twisting double at the end, and he drills it.
Wow.
Oh, that's the kind of energy we expected to see at these national championships. And we're going to see this all evening long. Speaking of greatness, here's Paul Judah, Olympic bronze medalist. Evgeny Semenyuk at a 13-6. Judah second up for Michigan.
Paul's got a big release to start right there. Laid out Kovacs. That's a double flip over the bar. And catching it again, he does it tucked there. Woo. He's catching a little bit far away from the bar. Done with his release work now. He'll go to the end bar. That skill is called a jam. Really hard on the shoulders there. I was never able to do that skill.
Paul Judah just known for his clean execution, form, and sticking landings. Can he do it again? There it is! Wow!
They are on fire right now.
And on the pommel horses, oh no! One of the best in the world, Brandon Dang from Illinois. He delivered a clutch routine to help Illinois yesterday qualify into this session. He missed the first move in his routine.
That's really unfortunate. So you can see his coach is talking to the judges right there to see if he actually got credit for completing the skill, and it looks like he didn't, so he's going to have to repeat it. Right there.
Oh, what a heartbreaking thing for Illinois.
Really unfortunate.
Remember, the Sooners had a fall on the horse, now one for Illinois. Pommel horse can often be the make or break event for the best gymnasts in the world.
As far as for the team score, he really needs to hone in right here and make sure that the rest of this routine is pretty much flawless, and he's doing a great job so far.
But he will lose a point for falling off at the beginning of his routine, and that counts towards the team score. A missed opportunity for one of the guys who was really challenging for an individual title as well on the pommel horse. He's that good.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate miss there.
Taylor Burkhart now for Stanford on the floor.
He's another gymnast that's capable of doing some really awesome connection passes like Asher. We'll see him mount with a huge double-double laid out there.
Matt Burgoyne on your right for the Oklahoma Sooners on rings.
Oh, wow. On the left side, that was the same pass that Asher did, but Asher did it first. Taylor really needs to hone in on these landings here.
Asher Hong, by the way, for Stanford in his routine previously, stuck that double-double at the end, got a huge 14.6. That's a big score on floor these days. Oklahoma gets a solid hit on the rings from Burgoyne.
Back to Taylor, you can see this is his variation of the scale. New requirement just added in.
Oh,
So close to sticking that dismount.
That's really a trademark for the Stanford Cardinals. They do the most difficulty of the teams here. And Oklahoma head coach Mark Williams told me the other day, he said, Stanford does about 5 points more difficulty than we do, and that gives them a bit of an advantage. Now, Michigan is also comparable to Stanford in terms of difficulty, and that brings up Fred Richard. He can fly here.
Absolutely. This is Fred's best event. Big release move called a Casino right there. Into the same thing in a tucked position. Very clean gymnastics here.
Torture for the parents to watch your child in a national competition, and then of all things on an 8.5-foot high bar, doing 2 flips and 2 twists. Fred Richard, one of the faces of the sport and one of the heroes of the games in Paris last summer.
His dad's definitely happy with that one. Let's take another look at this release move here. This is actually called a Coleman. You see the way he kicks out of the tuck there. That just shows true mastery of the skill. See him go into this dismount here. Broke out and spotted the landing, just over-rotated just a little bit.
Taylor Christopoulos now for Nebraska on the parallel bar. He's their anchor competitor. One of the best all-arounders, not only on Nebraska's team, but in the country. All the scores for the Cornhuskers have been in the mid-13 range. Their best is Yanni Chronopoulos, who led them off with a 14.733. Oh, no! And a fall. That's 1 point off for Taylor Christopoulos.
Let's take a look at what happened here. You can see, I think his toes were just on the other side of the bar, and that just caused his weight to shift a little bit. He's got a little bit off balance.
Wow, this Nebraska Cornhuskers had the lead coming into this second rotation. Will they be able to hang on to it? We've already seen a couple of falls in this rotation on Illinois and now Nebraska. Stanford is hitting on floor, and Michigan's hitting on high bar, and the Sooners on the rings. Ian Sandoval for Illinois on the pommel horse, competing as an individual all-around specialist. We saw earlier Brandon Dang, one of their superstars, scored only a 12.533. Preston Nye, after him, came back with a solid 14.1, but a missed opportunity for the Fighting Illini.
Ian's got a really good routine going right here. Fun fact, he was actually one of my teammates down at Evo in Sarasota where I was training before the Olympics. He's really fun to train with.
And on your right is Carson Eshelman from Michigan. Fred Richard had their big score, 13.766. Can they finish it off with another hit?
Wow. Michigan's throwing some big release moves in these routines right now.
Oh, hanging it out there.
Big laid out to Tkachev. Getting ready for the dismount here. He can stick it, it's gonna be big.
Four-hit routine on a very risky event, the high bar. Michigan on fire here. The Sooners need a hit now from Fuzzy Bennis, competing as an individual all-around competitor. Tosh Haidu before him had the 14.133, which was the top score for the Sooners on the rings in their team competition. Fuzzy Bennis, as we mentioned, competing today both for the team and as an individual. Here he's the fifth guy up for OU, trying to earn some points towards an all-around title.
Because he doesn't necessarily incorporate that much strength into his routine, but.
And quickly to the vault, Josh Carnes from Penn State.
Nicely done there.
Now he's competing as an all-arounder today. He was the 5th guy up, so the best scores for Penn State on vault were a 14 for Landon Simpson and a 14.033 for Kellen Ryan. Keep in mind, on the ESPN Plus app, you can watch every routine of your favorite team. Launch another browser and use a separate stream for floor, horse, rings, vault, parallel bars, and high bar. Lauren Sisler is with Illinois' coach Daniel Ribeiro.
Coach, you guys lost one there on the pommels, your best event. How do you guys bounce back? What's the message to the team right now?
I mean, we're the Fighting Illini. We have to keep fighting. That's what we do. The guys know it. They already are talking about it. It was unfortunate, you know, having Brandon fall on that, but the next guy up, Preston, stepped up and absolutely crushed the routine. So we just have to keep moving, keep rolling, keep moving, and doing the best that we can do.
Thanks so much, Coach. Bart?
All right, thank you, Lauren. Okay, the next rotation. Coy Young, one of the best in the world, will be up for the Stanford Cardinal on the pommel horse. And the Sooners go to the vault. Had a big score in the qualifying round. Can they stick their landings there today in the championship final? We're done with 2 rotations. Michigan has the lead over Stanford by 0.3 of a point. Of the Stanford Cardinal, just under 0.4 of a point. All right, we move to the 3rd of 6 rotations. Quick reminder, you can see every routine of your favorite team. In addition to today's broadcast, we have on ESPN Plus 6 separate streaming channels. You can follow all the events. Michigan's on floor, Stanford's on horse, Illinois is on ring, Oklahoma's on vault in this rotation, Penn State, the parallel bars, and Nebraska on the high bar. Remember, they're challenging for individual event championships as well. And you can see currently Paul Judah is the leader in the all-around, and those are the leaders on each individual event. Champions will be crowned later this evening. Some of the best gymnasts in the world competing here on the floor. 8 Olympians competing, 3 from the U.S. team in Paris Olympics last summer, and boy, wait till you see some of the gymnastics we're about to see now. Cameron Nelson from Ohio State.
He has one of the hardest skills to do on floor. He's going to do it right here as his first pass. It's a triple backflip.
Yo!
Wow!
My goodness. That is nuts. Good for him. He's one of the few guys in the world that can actually do 2 triple backs in a routine.
Just makes it look so easy.
Brody, I know you're one of the best gymnasts in the world. Did you ever do a triple back on floor?
No, you wouldn't catch me doing triple backs. That's probably the hardest skill on the floor exercise.
Somehow
because
Cam Nelson makes it look easy.
I know, he goes so high and he's able to just get into the flip so fast. It's hard for a lot of guys to do that. It was definitely hard for me to do that, but he just makes it look easy.
I know Ohio State was disappointed they didn't make it into today's team competition, but Cameron Nelson competing here as an individual, hoping to earn accolades.
And it's stuck dismount.
That's a great routine.
That's definitely going to be in contention.
This is Olympic level quality gymnastics. We're talking the level of difficulty that you see at the best final of the Olympics.
Just take another look at that triple back. Here's the last pass too. This is what we call a half in, half out. So a double backflip with a full twist. Gets the stick there and that extra 10th bonus.
William and Mary, 5 athletes competing today. They did not qualify as a full team, but they're competing for individual spots. Nice.
He's really happy with that one. Got the stick there.
Sam Lee.
Let's take another look at that. Let's watch his form coming onto the table. A little bit of a leg split. That's what the judges are looking for. But check out the way he just breaks out of the twist and spots the ground for that landing. And that's how he's able to stick it right there.
This is a team on the rise. Look for more exciting gymnastics from William and Mary. Fair amount of international competitors here as well. This is Theodore Rold Gatterud competing for Cal as an individual. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. Nice first two skills there. Getting to the middle of the bars now.
Gatterud is a member of the Norwegian national team. He's one of many international athletes competing here. They covet the opportunity to compete in U.S. NCAA competition for the team spirit, the experience.
That's a solid routine for him.
Isaiah Drake for Navy on the rings now. Eric Upton competing as an all-arounder for Air Force Academy on the high bar. Air Force comes into this competition number 8 in the country. Did not qualify as a full team, but Upton has enormous potential as an all-arounder.
You see on the left side, Isaiah getting in those swing elements before gearing up for the dismount here. Had a lot of good strength in those routines. A nice stuck dismount.
And Upton on the high bar. He's the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation all-around champion. He's the first Falcon to win an all-around title at the conference since back in 1992.
Really nice stick there.
I have enormous respect for all the athletes competing here, who also represent our country through the service academies. Great job. Arun Chetri now on the pommel horse. Remember, we've already seen a couple of falls from Illinois and Oklahoma on this event. Can the Stanford Cardinal hold it together? Because this is often the event that determines a team champion.
Yeah, I think pommel horse is probably the most important event to make sure that your leadoff guy hits a strong routine to get the run going. That's exactly what Arun just did.
Great hit for the Cardinal to the parallel bars. It's Penn State's Michael Giroux. Penn State was 4th in the team competition after the second rotation.
Wow. Giroux has some really incredible swinging skills there. It's one of the element groups that...
Michigan's Solon Chiotti now on the floor on your right.
Oh!
Whoa!
Just really cranked that dismount a little bit too much and wasn't able to open up in time to find the landing.
Once again, these athletes are doing the most difficulty in the world. This is this kind of stuff you see at the Worlds and the Olympics. And with that comes an enormous amount of risk.
I think we're really starting to see the pressure of this competition get to some of the teams. There's a lot on the line right here. Wow, didn't quite get the stick there, but that was a solid routine for Michigan.
I mentioned the high degree of difficulty. This is a tricky dismount for anybody, a double front somersault. Let's take a look at what happened over on the parallel bars.
Yeah, you can see, oh, really? It looked like it was going to be a really good dismount, but he just didn't kick out in time. Just held on to the tuck a little bit too long.
All right, for the Sooners now, Tyler Flores on vault. Nice.
Wow. So powerful.
This is a good event for Oklahoma.
Take another look at that. Good form coming onto the table. Lost a little bit of form in the air. See those legs, but a big hop forward just because he had so much power coming off of the table. He had to take that big hop forward.
Oklahoma currently in 5th in the team competition. Here's Paul Judah. He's a master at landings. Let's see if he can nail this floor routine for the Wolverines.
I love watching Paul on floor because he's one of those gymnasts that really pays attention to his execution. So everything he does, you're going to see done with perfect form. As you can see there on that back double layout, even his toes were pointed.
Talk about the key role he played in your Olympic bronze medal success in Paris.
Yeah, so Paul was our first guy up on every single event that he competed. And that first guy up, like I was mentioning before, is really supposed to set the tone for the rest of the rotation. And he was the perfect guy to go up and do that for us. And he delivered.
Paul's brand is all about polish, clean execution, nice body line. Remember, the score is a combination of your difficulty and execution, and it's particularly the execution category where Paul Judah excels. Cole Partridge on your right screen for Nebraska.
Paul can just stick this dismount. Oh, little hop backwards. That was a really great routine for Paul. Back over to high bar here. Good release work into that one-arm giant. Nice dismount, good form in the air, just a little bit over-rotated. That's why he had to hop backwards there. A solid routine.
Was in first place after the first rotation because of their big vaults. Oklahoma has a chance to get back into it with solid vaults. They're currently in 5th. Here's Frentaway. Nice!
Wow.
Wow! Oh! Stuck landing for OU. Here's Marcus Kushner now for Stanford on the horse. Paul Judah back over on floor, had a 14-1-3-3. Arun Chetri led off Stanford with a 13-6, but the routine prior to this, Ian Lasik-Ellis only an 11-6-6-6. As Fred Richards opens up on the floor for Michigan. Oh! And a fall for Marcus on pommel horse. So far, everybody has struggled on pommel horse in this competition.
Now on floor for Fred. He is phenomenal on this event. Really high-flying, powerful tumbling. As you can see right there. Just kicks out of that skill. Now watch this right here. He's gonna go up into a handstand, into an air flare. He's the only one that we're gonna see do that tonight. It's his own style that he gets to add to the routine. And Fred is really good at sticking. See if he can make it happen.
Oh man. Michigan looks so comfortable, in control. Dad Carl thinks they're on pace for a title run. They already won 8 NCAA titles. Let's go to Lauren.
And guys, speaking of comfortable, that is Fred Richard in a nutshell. He operates very independently. He has his own way of warming up, he said, of training, of thinking. But to me, a great team isn't just 20 guys doing the same thing. It's 20 different guys bringing their unique strengths to cover every gap. He's learned to embrace those differences and use them to help the team the best way he can.
Take another look here at his opening tumbling pass. That's a super hard skill. So he does a double-double, 2 flips and 2 twists in a laid-out position, and that was actually upgraded since this past Olympics to encourage guys to add it into their routines. You can see he's taking advantage of that.
There is so much action going on here simultaneously in the Chrysler Center, folks. Nebraska had another hit routine on vault. Oklahoma had another stuck vault, and here's a very important routine for Coy Young and the Stanford Cardinal. He is one of the best, not only in the country, but in the world on this event.
Absolutely. He's a world silver medalist on this event. And right there, because he does skills like that, that's why. That is one of the hardest skills in gymnastics because there's so much that can go wrong on it. It's so risky. You can see how aggressively Coy swings here.
As he's finishing his horse routine, Charlie Larson will set to go now for Michigan on the floor.
Good routine from Coy.
Larson, the sophomore from Minnesota.
Wow.
Really unusual technique in those twisting double layouts.
And it works so well for him.
Taylor Christopoulos for Nebraska. They're hitting over there on high bar. Their last guy up, Max Auden, had a 13-6.
Really great routine so far for Larson. Over on the right side, you can see Taylor Christopoulos doing some huge release moves there.
And a stuck landing on the left for Charlie Larson. He did not compete yesterday in the qualifying round. They saved that routine for the championship run. What a landing.
Let's take another look at the first pass here. Just watch the amplitude he gets here. And see how his body's completely straight. That's something that the judges are looking for. Last pass here, the dismount. Completely straight body and just drops into the landing.
Sooners are doing well on the vault. In the meantime, here's Emre Dodanli for Oklahoma. He is a member of the Turkish Olympic team in Paris. Oh!
Really great vault for OU.
Before him, Fuzzy Bennis had a 14.333. All the scores for the Sooners on vault, really solid scores in the 14s.
Take another look here. Little bit split legs coming onto the table. That's something that the judges are looking for. But breaks out and spots that landing and just a small hop forward. That's going to score really well.
Typically, vault is among the higher scoring events just because it's one skill and there's less opportunity for deductions. Speaking of great teams, though, how about the Stanford Cardinals? Lauren's with their head coach right now.
Yeah, and you know, the pommels have been a challenge tonight for all 3 teams that have competed. You guys lost 2 once more. What is the message to the team now at the halfway mark?
It's not over till it's over. Not until the last routine's done. Every team still has, Michigan still has to get the horse, so does Nebraska, I believe. Or they started on horse. No, they still have horse. So everything's, it's not done until the last routine is done. So we're staying in it.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yep.
Bart?
She's right. He's right about that. So far, a lot of the teams have struggled with at least one pommel horse routine. And Stanford, as you mentioned at the top of the show, has so much difficulty. Can they afford a mistake or two and still end up on top? Oh, I don't know, because Stanford's looking good, but Michigan is on fire. Here's Josh Carnes. He'll be on the parallel bars for Penn State when we come back. Michigan holds the lead. Oklahoma has moved back up into second off an outstanding performance on the vault. Nebraska in third. Stanford, after struggling on pommel horse, currently in fourth. As we mentioned, we're crowning not only team champions, but individuals currently in the all-around. Paul Judah leads Fred Richard, both guys from Michigan. He leads them by just 1/10 of a point. And those are the individual event leaders, as you see at the halfway point in this competition. Let's go down to Lauren.
Guys, I got to tell you, I got to note that there is a special ingredient that goes into the P-bars here, and I got to tell you, it's pretty sweet. It's honey. You'll see honey laying around the chalk bowl here, and Brody, you know all about the honey. Look, I always thought spitting on the grips was the right thing to do as a former gymnast, but apparently honey is the deal.
Brody, did you have your special blend of honey that you put on the bars?
Oh yeah, I would go up and down the aisles at the grocery store. Probably look pretty weird because I would tip the bottles upside down to see how thick the honeys were, and I would always look for the thickest honey because that's going to be the stickiest.
Oh yeah, whatever it takes to hang on to the parallel bars, and it's all legal. Remember, you can log on to the ESPN Plus app and you can follow your favorite team. Nebraska's on floor in this rotation, Michigan on horse, Stanford on rings. Illinois goes to the vault, Oklahoma on the parallel bars, and Penn State on the high bar. Currently, Michigan leads. As we get set for the fourth rotation. Now, teams have struggled on pommel horse. And in this rotation, the Michigan Wolverines will be on the pommel horse. Can they hold it together and hold their lead? But before we get to the team competition, here are individuals. Parker Thaxton on pommel horse now.
Nice mount. You can see as he's setting up his circles here.
Oh.
Wow. So he's a little bit taller than most of the athletes we're going to see tonight, and that's something that we're really going to see from the pommel specialist there. Just hang on to it. Typically, the guys who are really good at pommel horse are going to be your taller, lankier guys, because what the judges are looking for is those good lines, big extended circle like he's showing you right here, open hips.
You know, I like to compare pommel horse guys to field goal kickers in football. You know, they're a little different. You know, they're built different than the other guys. They kind of stay off to themselves. They do their own thing, but they provide an essential role because you need guys who can do this level of difficulty on pommel horse, and not everybody can do it.
Absolutely.
Ryan Rollison up for Simpson College on the rings.
And up first on the mat from Ohio State, David Ramirez.
Simpson College, coached by Colin Payne. Simpson and Greenville are two new programs in the NCAA. You hear all these stories over the last several years of men's gymnastics getting cut back. These are two success stories of teams that have been added, men's gymnastics, at Simpson and Greenville, and they're doing a great job in just 3 short years.
Rings is all about the strength, but I would say the most important part is the dismount here. He does a great dismount. Really good routine.
Eric Upton, we saw him rock his high bar routine in the last rotation. Now on the floor.
For California, Kyle Shimizu.
Big open and tumbling pass there. As I was mentioning before, so all of the double flipping skills in a laid out position after this last Olympics got upgraded, which means they're now worth more, and that's to encourage guys to put them in their routines. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those tonight and throughout the quad.
Once again, the rules for men's college gymnastics are almost identical to the requirements at the World Championships and the Olympics.
It's really why the NCAA program is essential for helping develop guys to make it to that top level. Nice dismount there. He's happy with that.
He's having a great day, Eric Upton from the Air Force Academy.
Let's take another look at this first pass here. So this is one that was upgraded after this last Olympics. Does it really well. Take another look at this dismount here. So this is a double backflip with a full twist. He's able to just drop into that landing. No movement whatsoever.
Isaiah Drake will be on vault now for Navy.
Isaiah has a really big vault here. It's one of those that I've watched since he was coming up in the junior ranks.
Nice.
Oh.
Isaiah Drake, he won his 4th consecutive all-around title at the ECAC Championships this year. And we go to the parallel bars now. The Oklahoma Sooners, we saw them earlier in 5th place. They have moved up all the way to 2nd place after an outstanding performance on the vault. Can they keep it going? Mark Williams, their head coach, told me earlier this year, this is a critical event for them because they don't typically score as well as he wished they would on parallel bars.
We saw them do a really good job on parallel bars yesterday. See if they can do it again. Great start to the routine there. Those two skills he does to fulfill the support requirement.
Oh, what a hit! Sooners getting back on track. They have 8 new routines today, and from the qualifying round, they have upgraded their lineup a little bit. They rested a few guys in qualifying and starting to pour it on here in the championship final. Team competition begins on horse for Michigan, Zach Granados.
I would say this is probably the most important event for them to hit. Like I was saying before, this leadoff spot, it's so important for the first guy up on pommel horse to hit the routine, to start off the run. He's doing a great job so far. You see, he's definitely one of those taller gymnasts. That's why he's so good on this event.
Oh, it's a hit.
Wow.
They got one in the bank.
A great start there.
Can they keep it going? The other teams in contention have struggled on pommel horse. Michigan off to a great start.
See this skill right here? That's a really tricky skill. Into the triple Russian dismount there. That's not what we're going to be seeing typically today, but
that we're going to see a lot of.
We'll see a lot of that.
This team is on fire. The Wolverines, can they win their 9th NCAA title here? Can they beat the Stanford Cardinal, going for their 6th straight title? It's never been done before. Here's Taylor Burkhart. Stanford is very strong on rings.
Absolutely, and rings is one of those events that I always like starting on rings because you really want to use all of your nerves and all of your adrenaline to go and do the strength moves like he's doing right there. The more adrenaline you have, the easier it is. You can see Taylor's taking advantage of that for sure. Nice handstand, showing a lot of control there. That's what the judges are looking for. Big dismount. Oh, and he hangs on to the stick. What a...
Take a look at the iron cross. Now, a lot of people ask me, how hard is it to do that? Well, try this at home. Put your arms that far apart between two chairs and try to hold it. And now, put the chairs on wheels, because that's basically what the rings are. They're not static. They're moving, and that's how hard it would be to do an iron cross. I don't encourage everybody at home to try that. It may lead to some shoulder issues. Paul Judah on the horse now. Michigan already has a hit.
Big routine for Paul here. I remember him telling me he was first up.
Oh no!
Oh,
Once again,
that's
the
unfortunate.
pommel horse bites back.
It's a really uncharacteristic mistake. He did that on a skill called the McCulloch, which actually Sam McCulloch invented that skill, and he's one of my teammates at the Tokyo Olympics.
And a former Michigan Wolverine. Oh!
Oh, just missed his hand there.
Oh!
So he will probably be repeating that skill.
Now Paul, of course, legendary for not only his form and execution, but his consistency. I think that just speaks to the amount of pressure that these guys are feeling.
Absolutely. And Michigan, after seeing the horse run that Stanford just had.
Remember, you lose a point when you fall, and you continue to the exercise from where you fell. And he finished a clean exercise, but a missed opportunity for the team in the lead.
Let's take a look at some of his flare work here. Now, Paul's routine is very unique because it's constructed solely around these flares. He doesn't do any of the pommel work that we'll see from a lot of the other guys.
Okay, an opportunity here for the Stanford Cardinal, because a fall for Michigan on the horse. Stanford on the rings with one of the best in the world, Asher Hong, one of your Olympic teammates.
Absolutely, and he definitely is one of the best in the world on this event, as you can see from that opening strength move, the inverted cross. Extremely hard to do.
Yeah, look at how level he is. That's the goal, and that's what the judges are looking for.
Absolutely, they're looking for his shoulders to be right at the bottom of the rings there, and if they're any higher, then that's room for deduction.
Taylor Burkhart led the Cardinal off with a 13.833.
Asher does a big dismount here. Let's see if he can stick it.
Oh, right. On floor for Nebraska, Chase Mundy. We saw his huge ball earlier. Remember, Nebraska is one of the big stories of this championship. They were 4th or 5th after the first rotation.
Oh my
in the
gosh.
qualifying round, and they're pouring it on here today. They won the qualifier. And this is a team that has sort of been struggling in that 4th, 5th spot for the last several years. Do they have a chance at a podium finish today, as Michigan's Fred Richards takes to the horse with which could be one of the most crucial events of the meet. Already Michigan has one fall from Judah, and his score was only a 12.466.
And this is a really critical routine for Michigan right now. Fred's job right now is to stop the bleeding and hit this routine to get Michigan back on track, and he's doing a good job so far. You see Fred taking advantage of those flared skills there. Now Fred can just fly up to the dismount.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Crucial hit for Michigan. So they have 2 hit routines out of 3.
So this is one of the hardest passes that we're going to see all night here. Really nicely done there, taking advantage of those upgraded double flipping skills in a layout position.
Okay, back to the parallel bars now for the Oklahoma Sooners. Remember, they started the day out in 5th place. Struggled on pommel horse, as says every team. Now they're in 2nd after great work on vault, and here they are on parallel bars. They have 3 hit routines from Burgoyne, Colin Flores, and Fuzzy Bennis. This is Emery Dodanley.
Really nice support skill there. It's called a Healy. To a Diamidov and a Stutz. Those fulfill the support skill requirements that the judges are looking for.
And a nice landing. Oklahoma getting it back together. Mark Williams told me earlier, he said this team is similar to their 2012 team. They were kind of under the radar. Even though they came here as a #1 seed, Oklahoma still in the running after some mistakes on the pommel horse.
Really big opening pass there for Taylor Christopoulos on the floor.
Nebraska in 3rd after the halfway point, and Arison Mansberger another critical routine for Michigan. Fred Richard had a huge 13-9. Michigan needs a hit here because they did have 1 miss from Paul Judah.
You can see Aronson Mansberger is definitely a pommel horse specialist. Just look how big his swing is.
I think it's interesting when the pommel horse guys enter the arena, everybody knows, oh, that's a pommel horse guy. He's about a foot taller than everybody else,
Yep.
Long arms, lean body, and that helps him excel in this event. He would not do well on the skills. Oh!
Another fall there for Michigan. So,
Oh my goodness. The pressure on pommel horse. He had the whole routine. All he had left was the dismount.
it's really unfortunate there. So what the judges are looking for is, let's take another look at it.
What happened here?
So he's supposed to fly up to the handstand. You see, he just gets a little bit off balance there and isn't able to muscle it up. Another angle. And that's how he was supposed to do it.
Oh, so a point off again. So 2 points off because of the falls for the Wolverine.
They're really making it an interesting competition.
Oh, man. Once again, the door opens for Stanford. Mark Berlaga, top 10 in the country on rings.
Berlaga is a ring specialist, so this is the only event we're going to be seeing from him tonight. And in my opinion, he's one of the strongest guys in the world, just because of this first skill that he's about to do.
We said at the top of the show, pound for pound, these are among the strongest athletes in any sport. Few athletes are able to show this kind of strength to body weight.
He just levitated up there.
Oh, it is like levitation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so hard to do.
I would not recommend trying that one at home. Look at the positions. Just perfect.
Just perfect. You see those shoulders right at the bottom of the rings down there. He's not leaving the judges any room to take deduction. So he's really taking his time to breathe, collect himself. Nice line. Now Mark doesn't do the hardest dismount. but he can stick it. Really wants to take advantage of that stick bonus here. Can he do it? Yes, he does!
Okay. 4 big routines for the Stanford Cardinal here on the rings.
What a way to bounce back from that pommel horse run.
Aronson Mansberger on Michigan had a 13-4 after that fall, but Michigan looks like they are currently still in top of the standings, depending on the score we see for Balaga. Let's go to Lauren.
Standing by with Nebraska's head coach, Coach Jamelka. You guys started off this meet strong, finished a strong run there on floor. What do you guys need to do in these next 2?
We have to hit. We have to hit well, but we can do it.
Got to stay in there.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Coach.
You got it. Sorry it was so short, but that's all we got to do is hit.
Sounds good. You heard it from him, Bart.
Yeah.
Got to hit.
Chuck,
Name of the
40
game.
years with the program as a great athlete and now as the head coach there for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And Paul Juda, normally consistent, an unusual mistake. Penn State, their anchor Josh Carnes on the high bar a moment ago.
Good dismount there.
Pound for pound, some of the strongest guys in the world. They're coming up to the 5th of 6 rotations. Who's going to win this one? Looks like pommel horse is the determining factor. Don't go away. The Michigan Wolverines struggled a bit on horse, but they still have the lead. Oklahoma in 2nd. Stanford is in 3rd. Now, pommel horse, as we said before the break, has just been a clutch event and some unusual mistakes here for Michigan in that rotation.
Yeah, pommel horse is one of those events that I would compare to the girls for beam. So you can really let the nerves get to you, and I think, as we can see here tonight, I think the athletes are starting to feel the gravity of the situation with a championship on the line.
Oklahoma had a fall as well on the pommel horse in the 1st rotation, but Michigan leads. OU's in 2nd and Stanford's in 3rd. And here are the event leaders. Fred Richards has now moved into 1st place in the all-around after the fall from Paul Juda on the pommel horse. And those are the individual event leaders as we get ready for the 5th of 6 rotations. And in this rotation, Penn State's on the floor, Nebraska on the horse, Michigan goes to the rings, Stanford will be on the vault, and Illinois parallel bars, Oklahoma on the high bar. Looking forward to this performance right here. This is Patty Hoops, the Air Force Academy. He won the Olympic trials last year on pommel horse. Could have earned a spot onto your Olympic team, Brody. That spot, of course, was earned by Steven Nedarasic, the pommel horse guy, who helped contribute to your bronze medal success over there. Patty Hoops is as good, and in fact has had beaten Steven Nedarasic a couple of times. Let's see what he can do today, because pommel horse has been a event where the athletes have struggled.
Yeah, and this is all we're going to see from Patty today. And this routine is really world class.
Oh,
wow.
He's so fast.
You see, all of that he just did was one skill there. You see the control that he has over the horse. Nice open swing. I love this skill right here. That's a tricky one. Up to the dismount. And this was a phenomenal routine.
Yes, it was.
And he knows it.
That's the kind that's good enough to win an NCAA championship for the Air Force Academy.
That might just do it.
Conference Specialist of the Year. He's just a master here.
Yeah, you can see that skill on the one arm right there. He just flies up to the handstand, judges can't take anything on that.
Could be a big moment for the for Air Force Academy. Patty Hoops, the senior out of Lehigh, Utah, delivers. Here's one of Ohio State's competitors as a specialist, Cam Nelson. We saw him earlier do a triple back somersault on the floor. He also finishes his ring routine with a huge triple back as well.
Yeah, Cameron, I think, is just the king of triples.
Ricky Mays. Ricky Mays will be on vault now for Greenville. Oh!
Huge vault there, just a little too much power and just stepped out of bounds. Cameron should be getting close to his dismount here. Here we go. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
So close to the stick there.
You talk often about the rules. One of the things they did, they upgraded the value of dismounts. And so if you go for a particularly difficult dismount, it really counts a lot towards your score.
Yeah, absolutely. So the requirement that you get for the dismount, actually the value of the requirement matches the value of the dismount. So by doing a big dismount, you essentially get double the points.
Right. Scores are built on difficulty as well as execution. An A move is worth 1/10, a B move is worth 2 and 3, and so on. A triple back off rings, I believe it's a G, so it's worth like 1.4 towards your start value, rewarding a gymnast who takes that kind of risk.
Isaiah Drake here on the left side.
The score just came in for Patrick Hoops on pommel horse for Air Force, a 14.833.
Wow.
The best of the day so far and well deserved.
On the right side, moving to Theo's non-acrobatic element. So on that skill right there, that's called a wide arm press handstand. He actually has to hold that for 2 seconds, which he did really well. Oh, a little wobbly on the scale there. Come on. Into the dismount. Solid routine except for that one mistake that we just saw before the dismount. Let's take another look at it here. Like his legs just weren't ready for the punch there. Maybe his knees buckled a little bit.
The yellow flag goes up. That indicates that he stepped over the line. An additional 1/10 of a point deduction for something like that.
You see he's gassed after that routine.
Yeah. He's had a busy weekend. These guys are going back-to-back 2 days in a row. It's rare that teams, in fact, no team has competed this year 2 meets back-to-back as a complete team. So there's a lot of exhaustion here by these athletes who competed yesterday in the qualifying round, and today here, many of them again in the team championship. Johnny Chronopoulos now on pommel horse for Nebraska. This has been the clutch event. We're back in the team competition after those individual competitors.
Up first, for Penn State on the floor, Michael Bartlett.
You see him reaching behind his shoulders there. It's really hard for someone as broad as him. The wider your shoulders are, the harder it is to reach behind your back. That's why typically the great pommel workers are all the tall, skinny guys, but he makes light work of it.
Nebraska currently in 4th in the team competition. Remember, after that first event, the vault, they were leading. And now in 4th. Michigan still our leaders. The Oklahoma Sooners in 2nd. can see the separation of scores. Michigan on the top. If you look at the leaderboard on the bottom right of your screen, Michigan has the lead with a 2:20. Oklahoma is 0.6 of a point behind Michigan, and Oklahoma goes to the risky high bar while Michigan takes to the rings.
On the right side of your screen here, Javier Alfonso really looking to pick the meet back up after pommel horse. Wants to start off this rings run with a solid routine. You can see he's very strong, able to hold his body completely flat there. Javier is one of their strongest ring guys.
And a hit for the Sooners on high bar. Brandon Cepeda-Orth.
Javier getting ready for his dismount here. Chest a little low on that landing. It was a great routine.
Oh, this team competition is intense. Stanford, remember, they're 1.2 behind Michigan here. And here is Coy Young. Nice.
Very nice vault. See, he does a front handspring style vault, so he doesn't really get the leg separation from the springboard to the table.
Remember, vault is the highest scoring event, so this is an opportunity for Stanford. In fact, vault and parallel bars are two of their best events, and they'll finish on those two events. Here's Travis Wong for Nebraska on horse.
Nice work on the leather here. See, Travis has a nice open circle. Solid, sits so tall on his arms. And a great routine.
Terrific purity now for Michigan on the rings. Score in for Javier Alfonso, 13.833. Very important routine for the Sooners over on high bar. Remember, they're in second place behind Michigan. Fuzzy Benes competed only a couple of events in the qualifying round yesterday, but today doing the all-around for the first time this season.
Fuzzy definitely knows how to fly high on this event. Gearing up for a big release here. Wow. It's called a Casina double backflip over the bar. Does the same thing in a tuck position. On the left side, Puri getting ready for the dismount.
Oh, my goodness.
And a stick.
Oh, Michigan's feeling it. Even with two mistakes on pommel horse, they have the lead. That's how good the Wolverines are this year.
I can't express enough how important those stick bonuses are. Because if you don't stick, you're either taking a 1/10 or a 3/10 step. So you're either losing 2/10 or 4/10 if you don't stick. And with 4 routines up, that could be anywhere up to 1.6
towards your team total. Nathan York on horse for Nebraska. They have a 13.533 and a 13.133. So decent scores there. Nebraska in third coming into this 5th rotation. For Stanford now on the vault, it'll be Taylor Burkhart.
Taylor does a really cool vault here. So do a round off back handspring onto the table, but it's going to include a half twist Just something that we won't see from anyone else tonight. Right there, so double full off the table. Strong vault.
Once again, vault scores. Because it's only one skill and the start value on the skill on something like this is a 14.8. And so less room for deduction because it's basically only one skill where they count 8 skills on the apparatus. Here goes Fred Richard on the rings.
Fred's been working on adding some strength moves since the Olympics. We'll see him start off with it right here.
Rithik Puri before him, 13.966. Emre Dodanli on high bar for the Sooners at the same time. Rosie Bennis hit his routine with a 13.033 over there.
Nice swinging skills for Fred. Be getting ready for his dismount here. He does a really difficult dismount. Right there it is, and a stick!
Oh, another one! Wow, they're feeling it here at home. Oh, wow! Dodanli hitting high bar. Currently second in the country on this event. And a stick for them. What a meet. No, did his feet slide?
I think he hopped backwards a little bit.
All right.
Let's take another look at this dismount here for Fred.
This is one of the hardest dismounts in the world.
So he's going to do a double backflip with 2 twists in a laid out position. Wow. And just drops into the landing like it's no issue for him.
Colt Walker will be next up on vault for Stanford. Taylor Burkhart had a 14.366. Last 2 vaulters for the Stanford Cardinal are Walker and Asher Hong. Big opportunity here for Stanford.
This is one of Colt's best events.
Now he's built like a vaulter.
He is.
He's like a linebacker, this guy.
If you look at this guy's calves, they're the size of my head, Bart.
Taylor Christopoulos on your right. Oh! Anything you can do, I can do better, huh?
Wow.
From the top 3 teams, 3 perfectly stuck landings.
Wow.
Oh!
That was an awesome vault. Remember, those extra tenths matter. Nice routine from Christopoulos there. Let's take another look at this vault here. Watch his legs coming onto the table. Great form in the air and breaks out. Looks over his right shoulder there. Watch him peek over his shoulder to spot the ground, and that's how he's able to drop in and stick it.
I don't think you can do it much better than that. He goes, okay, what do you got? That's good, right? The Stanford Cardinal, they told us the other day they're on full send. Looks like the Michigan Wolverines are too. Fred Richard had their first score over 14. It was a 14.066. Kelton Christensen now for the Sooner on high bar. He did not compete yesterday, dealing with a virus. He's been sick.
Over on the left side, you see some really good strength from Paul Judah. Like we were talking about before, the name of the game for Paul is execution. So everything he does almost perfectly. Just look at the toe point there.
Christensen swinging big for Oklahoma. Can he put this one down? Almost simultaneously dismounting Paul Judah and Kelton Christensen. Those are the two teams in first and second coming into this rotation. But wait, folks, because here is Asher Hong, one of the best in the world. He does one of the most difficult vaults that's ever been attempted. We saw him do it in the warm-up. You think he'll go for it today?
Absolutely. We'll see it right here.
Here it is.
The hardest vault in the world.
Oh, my goodness. Rise Guang is the name of that vault, and hats off to Asher Hong, because not many guys have the power, the strength, and the guts to do this.
Like Barb was saying, this is the hardest vault in the world. He does it so easily. So he's doing 3 backflips with a full twist. Oh my gosh. You see, he just goes so big that he over-rotates it and has to take a big step backwards, but just look how high he is. And he's not a very tall guy.
He's not. He's barely taller than the vaulting table. Oh, great job for Stanford. Well, Michigan was outstanding in that rotation on the rings as well. And our Lauren Sisler is with their head coach, Xiao Yuan.
You guys had 2 falls on the pommel horse. You went over to the rings and you nailed it. How important is that to close out this rotation and head into last rotation?
You know, someone fell and someone kick over. Yeah, so that's our support. So we never give up. That's our fighting. Continue fighting until last routine done. That's what we do. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, he's known to what runner-up feels like. Do they have enough today to win this championship? Well, the 6th and final rotation will be underway when we come back to Ann Arbor. Some of the best gymnasts in the world putting on an impressive display. Who's going to win this one? All right, everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with Brody Malone, my fellow Olympian, and let's take a look at the scores here after the 5th of 6 rotations. Stanford has the lead after that incredible performance on the vault. Michigan trails by about a half a point, and the Oklahoma Sooners are in 3rd. It's going to come down to Stanford and Michigan. Who's going to win the team championship? Well, we said here's the story at the beginning. Stanford has a shot at their 6th straight national title. It's never happened. What's going to take in this final rotation to hold off the Wolverines?
Well, with Michigan going to vault, that's one of the highest scoring events. And Stanford going to P-bars, it's not a bad event for them either, but they're going to have to be near perfect to pull it off.
All right, the stage is set for the 6th and final rotation here in Ann Arbor. The championship trophy will be presented at the end of this rotation. We will know who wins it. It's Stanford, Michigan, and Oklahoma. For more on Stanford, let's go to Lauren.
Guys, I just spoke to Coach Gleamy there, and look, he said it's going to be interesting. We have to hit sticking every single landing. We got to go for broke. You know, it's all about full send, and he said, look, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's no question it is, because Michigan trails Stanford by .533, but Michigan is coming up on the vault, which is a high-scoring event and a big opportunity for the Wolverines to win their 9th NCAA championship right here at home. Remember, you can see every routine. You won't miss any of them. If you log on to ESPN+, we have a separate stream. Oklahoma's on the floor, Penn State on the horse, Nebraska on the rings, Michigan on the vault, Stanford on the parallel bars, and Illinois on the high bar in this 6th and final rotation. Remember before, get to the team competition. A couple of individuals competing for individual accolades. Here's Jack Matlock from Air Force. Remember earlier, Patty Hoops had the high score of the night. Will he be in a position to win his 2nd straight NCAA championship? He won it last year. All of it depends on these last couple of routines.
Strong start here. You can see he's another one of those guys that just looks like he has control over his swing. Nice extended circle there. Ready for his dismount here. a little bit squirrely going up to that handstand, but was able to stay on his feet there. Take another look at this dismount here. And see, he got just a little bit off balance there. Was just able to squeak that turnaround and had to take a hop on the landing.
All right, we saw his explosive power on floor and rings. Cameron Nelson from Ohio State.
This is a big vault right here. If he lands this well, he's very capable of winning this event.
Oh!
He does it!
Yes!
Wow!
Oh!
Wow!
Ah, for Ohio State. Could that be enough for a national title? They're not here as a full team, but boy, well represented here with this.
Wow. See, beautiful form coming onto the table. A little bit of his legs crossed in the air, but he goes so high that he's able to break out. Watch him break out here and just look for the ground.
That's a handspring layout front with 2.5 twists. There's only a handful of people in the world who even attempt it, and he drilled it. Theodore Roll got a route now for Cal. He'll finish his day in the all-around contention on the pommel horse. Member of the Norwegian national team, one of many international competitors competing in the United States. They want this exact opportunity, the thrill of the crowds, the excitement of competition. They know this is as good as any world championship or Olympic competition with the quality of gymnastics we're seeing here.
That's a good routine for him to finish off the day. Now to Eric Upton on the rings for Air Force. Nice backup rise into that classic iron cross there. And again, so he's a little bit high there. So what the judges are looking for is for his shoulders to be completely even with the bottom of the rings. And you can see they were just above. So gave a little bit away there, but not bad.
For Army on the right, this is Jaden Blank on vault, competing as an all-arounder.
And a stick for Eric on the rings.
And one for Blank as well. I just can't overstate the quality of gymnastics we're seeing here. Some of the most difficult routines in the world, and they're just drilling them. Oklahoma, remember, they're in third. You see they're 2.8 out of first, all right? They're coming up on the floor. Stanford in this rotation will be on the parallel bars, and the leaders, Michigan in second place will be on vault, which is the highest scoring event. It's all coming down to these last few routines.
Now, floor for Oklahoma has notoriously been one of their best events, so we can't count them out yet. They can really stick those landings.
Great story about Mac Burgoyne. He was a member of the OU club team, was not on the varsity team, and he just kept working. And he earned his way onto the team as a scholarship athlete. The senior out of Pennsylvania. As Stanford's Jeremy Bischoff will start on the parallel bars for the Cardinal.
This is a really important routine for Stanford here on the right. Very difficult skill there. It's called a makuts. Part of that support group requirement. And moves into the swinging skills there. Connects those two skills there. That's one of my favorite things that Jeremy does. Goes right into the next move. And he's very good at sticking this dismount. Oh! And he does
That's
it.
what the Stanford Cardinal need. They're in the lead. But they're gonna need landings like that because here comes Michigan on the vault. Nebraska on the rings now, 5 points out of the lead. They started the day on vault and had the lead after one rotation, currently in 4th. Big vault here for Michigan now.
Very nicely done. Just landed a little bit outside the lines there.
Solon Chiotti gets them off to a good start. That vault has a 14.8 start value. And he does it cleanly, so expect a good score for Chiotti and the Michigan Wolverines. Remember, they're a half a point behind Stanford.
Take another look here. Really great form onto the table. Tighten the air on the twist. So you see he landed a little bit under-rotated and just stepped over the line there. So those are both areas that the judges are able to take deductions. You step over the line, so he stepped out with 1 foot. That means it's 1/10 off. And when it's down to the wire like this, every 10th matters. So guys are looking to land right in the middle.
Brandon Wynn now on parallel bars.
Another big routine for Stanford here.
Jeremy Bischoff led them off with a huge 14.0. That's a great score in any spot, especially the leadoff spot.
Brandon is really good on this event. Team captain this year, looking to deliver. Big skill here.
Yeah.
See how he just launches himself up. And here he goes for the dismount. Can he get the stick?
Oh! Almost.
Really close there.
This is where Stanford excels. They do extremely difficult routines. And they always feel like they have a little bit of advantage because they're doing harder routines, which are usually rewarded by the judges. You see the sign behind you, them full send. That is the Stanford motto this year. Full send on all of it, and that's what Brandon Wynn did there. Now to Michigan on the ball. David Wolma. Solon Chiotti had a 13.833. Michigan hoping to make up some ground on the Stanford Cardinal here. They were a half a point behind coming into this rotation. Oh! Oh! Are you kidding me?
That was almost perfect.
Oh! What a moment! David Wolma drills it.
So watch his form coming onto the table. So after he hits a springboard all the way to the table, his legs are glued together, breaks out and spots the landing, and he immediately knows.
The graduate student from Cypress, Texas. He's a vault specialist. Boy, did he deliver when they needed it. Back to the parallel bars. North Stanford. This is Asher Hong. Brandon Wynn had a 13.733.
Asher had some trouble with that skill yesterday, but able to bring it back today. This is actually one of Asher's best events. He's a world finalist on this event. Getting ready for the dismount. Asher is really good at sticking this, and he needs to stick it.
Oh!
he does it!
Yes!
Wow.
The two best teams right now. Playing anything you can do, I can do better. Asher Hong, an Olympian. One of 8 Olympians competing today, and one of your teammates, of course, Brody Malone.
Take another look at this dismount here.
So aggressive.
So aggressive, and he knows exactly where he is in the air. He's able to break out and spot the ground there.
And another full send for Asher Hong. Okay, now that sets the stage for Fred Richard. David Walma, by the way, scored a 14.4 on an vault that's only worth as much as 14.8. So you see the score comparisons in this last rotation between Stanford and Michigan. It is close.
I think it's going to come down to these last 2 routines from each.
And here's Olympian Fred Richard. What?
Oh my God!
No way! How does he do it? Ow! Take a bow.
Fred is known for delivering in these big moments.
Oh, what a thrilling moment.
Wow. Now remember, coming into this rotation, Stanford had a lead just about 5/10. Take another look at this. Perfect form in the air, breaks out, spots the landing. There was no doubt in his mind that he was going to stick that.
And Colt Walker mounts the parallel bars after Asher Hong got their best score, 14.033.
Now this is Colt's best event. He was the champion at the last U.S. Nationals on this event in February. He really needs to deliver right now. Wow. Huge release move right there.
Score came in for Fred Richard, pardon me. A 14.4 as Paul Judah gets set to be their 4th and final vaulter.
Can Colt stick it?
No.
Oh, it's going to come down to the wire here.
You can see the separation between Michigan and Stanford right now in the lower right of the screen. It's .330. We're talking 33 hundredths of a point.
A tad under-rotated on that small hop backwards. Oh, still a really good routine.
You know, we saw yesterday when we were here in the qualifying round, the Michigan Wolverines just felt so comfortable in this arena. They're in front of their home crowd. And Paul Judah, we saw him fall off pommel horse earlier, very uncharacteristically. But now, he has a chance to finish it off for the Wolverines and their 9th national championship title.
Close to the stick. That's going to be really interesting because he stepped out of bounds with both feet, so that's a 3/10 neutral deduction there.
Oh my.
Take another look. Paul's just so good at keeping perfect form. You can see his legs glued together in the air, breaks open. Wanted that stick really bad. Oh, he might have kept the other foot in.
Right.
Let's take a look at this angle. Look for that left foot there when he hops. Oh, it's going to be a close one. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Last 2 years, the Michigan Wolverines have been runner-ups. A 13-8-0-3 or Judah right now will give Michigan the win. Come on! And they got it! Oh! 13-9-6-6. So by a little over a tenth of a point, the Michigan Wolverines are champions again. The last 2 years, a runner-up to the Stanford Cardinal, but not today in front of the home crowd. From start to finish, Michigan looked like they were on a mission. Let's go to Lauren.
All right, and we are with the winning coach tonight. Describe the emotion and what you see right here behind us right now as you guys take this national championship.
It's awesome, boy, and I'm so proud of his boys, and they are working so hard. They want to bring the trophy back to Michigan. It's 11 years that we did time.
What does this one mean to your team and the fans that are here tonight cheering you on?
It just means too much for Michigan, also for the program at Michigan. I'm so proud of our school, and thank you everyone supporting us, and go blue.
And I'd love to bring in Paul Judah here, embracing his teammates right now. In tears.
This is all I've ever wanted. You grow up wanting to be an Olympian, but you come to school and you mature and you want one of these. I love every single one of these guys as if they were my blood, and we finally did it.
It's the only dream we have today. Yeah, this is Paul, graduate here. Now, you got national champion rings now, okay? Now, we got to have another ring. Thank you.
What a moment, y'all. What a moment from these two. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Coach. Wow, the emotion.
And in addition to the Michigan Wolverines winning the team title, here are the individual national champions. Fred Richards wins the all-around, and you can see the other individual event winners there as well. But tonight it was all about the team, and in front of a home crowd, the Wolverines delivered. Brody, we said at the top of the show this is going to be a thriller. What did you think?
I mean, it really came down to the wire. Like I've said before, NCAA championships is one of the most exciting and thrilling competitions that you can be a part of, and we saw that tonight.